Karen O'Hara brought her campaign against human trafficking
In
to the McKinley Mall this
1865,
afternoon.
President
She's also
Abraham
raising
Lincoln
funds to support victims.
He ratified the 13th Amendment to the Constitution of each state.
My name's Cor. That's short for Corinne. I'm 11 and a half years old, and I'm a future sex slave.
Human trafficking is the sale, transport, and profit from human beings who are forced to work for others. It is the modern equivalent of slavery. Against their will, millions of people around the world are forced to work for the profit of others. For example, by prostitution, involuntary servitude, working in sweatshops, and even becoming child soldiers.
It's a worldwide issue, and it affects every nation. And unfortunately, from what I do know about it, it's usually exploiting third world countries, countries that are economically or socially developing, and usually they're trafficked either within the country or to first world countries. So I don't think there's too many nations, if there's any nation, that's not affected by human trafficking.
Human trafficking is the third largest criminal industry in the world after arms and drug dealing. It is, however, the fastest growing criminal activity. Somewhere in the order of 27 million people around the world are estimated to be victims of slavery, with approximately 50% of these victims being under the age of 18. In other words, 1 million children will be forced into prostitution alone this year. There are 7 Catholic social principles which we as Catholics are called to follow. Human trafficking directly interferes with the life and dignity of the human person, the dignity of work, the rights of workers, and option for the poor and vulnerable.
They're still pertinent today because it affects human dignity. And the Catholic Church believes that each person, every person, has an inherent human dignity that can't be violated, that can't be used as a means to an end. And human trafficking treats people as things. And that is the biggest problem with human trafficking, because it doesn't acknowledge their human dignity, their individual identity, and or even their ability to have the freedom to see how do they want to live their lives. And so basically it's a problem of human dignity.
So what can you do about human trafficking? Start off by finding a non-profit organization to work with. Write your legislators. To stop the supply, we must stop the demand. Work with local charities to fight poverty in third world countries.
I think if you had asked people today, does slavery still exist? Are people being outside their will, being taken places that they don't want to go? And the answer is yes. But as far as an awareness of that, I think that's exactly what we have to do, is make people aware. The problem is that human beings have a pretty short attention span, pretty short memory. And when we make people aware, it's also making them aware consistently and letting them know why it's a problem. The most powerful stories and the most powerful messages that get through to people is when you invite them to walk in the life of somebody else, and letting people know what is human trafficking, what does it look like, expose them to what human trafficking is all about. And I think that gets people's attention. But as far as trying to really address the issue, unfortunately it may seem that it's just too big for us. You know, it's just like, well, you know, I have my own circle of influence, but what do I have with this larger issue? Well, you know, making people aware of the problem. And I think history, the people who really changed history the most, didn't settle for saying, I'm too small. What they wanted to do is take whatever I can do at this particular time, I'm going to do what I can and encourage other people to do the same. And in that way, you know, it's I think that's the raising awareness, letting people know and giving them something to